Hey there, friends. Happy 4th of July. And today I'm thinking about the bullets that we, the people, have dodged over the past 20 years. And there have been some good ones. In the first place, 20 years ago, when John F. Kennedy Jr. found out that his airplane had been altered, he created and he staged his own death so that he could come back and make a difference 20 years later. All right. We dodged a bullet when we elected President Trump into the president's office. And now the Democrats, who are also involved in human trafficking, child sex trafficking, drug running, and gun running, are being indicted for the crimes that they have been committing over the past 30 years. We have dodged the bullet of increased criminal activity, corruption, protection rackets, and the entire moral collapse that is created in the empire mentality. You see, the empire mentality has not changed since Babylon. I don't know if you've read the Talmud, but the Talmud takes the Torah, the laws of God, and twists them into acceptability by the empire. Okay. And what the empire, with its two-headed ego, okay, it speaks truth, it also speaks to the dark side. Okay. What has happened is that the empire, in trying to come back in a resurgence since King George V, centralized the banking system, took on a different name, put Tavistock to work, and accepted the terms of the Kalergi plan. Okay, King George V was instrumental in turning the covenant that was the Kingdom of Britain back into empire values. And what are the empire values? Human trafficking, slavery, abductions, according to the El Anu and Greada treaties, okay, drug running and gun running as just business, all right, human body parts trafficking, the whole LGBT movement is the movement away from the sanctity of family, community, region, nation, having dominion over its own land without being jerked around and victimized by the commercial, the commerce, maritime admiralty, being thinged and gamed by the commerce in the empire. The commerce in the empire is always holy. That's what the empire works for and works with. And there are no human rights. There are no personal rights in the empire because the empire stands for commerce. So we are dodging that bullet. And that's good to see at my age. Wow. Who knew that we could even stand against the empire and its immoral, unethical, and strategic doctrines of conquest and profiteering against the welfare of the people. How do you profiteer against the welfare of the people? You sell insecticides and herbicides that short term, okay, they get rid of the weeds and the bugs, but then they kill the soil and kill the people who eat the plants, all right? That's short-term profiteering that weakens the families, the community, the region, and the nation, okay? How else does industry and just business weaken the people? Well, when big pharma begins selling vaccines and drugs that cause more side effects than the original disease, okay, and that's so they can care for more patients as they can care for more um, products that people are buying to try to get well, all right, there is another instance of long-term damage that occurs for short-term profit. And when venture capital, okay, looks for short-term profit in the stock market and they refuse to fund and substantiate new technologies that really benefit society, there we go. There's the empire's profit motive placed before the welfare of the family, the community, the region, the nation. I don't know if we're going to be able to dodge that bullet, but because President Trump is a businessman and he does utilize the capitalist system to get some things done. All right, he's not perfect, but I'll tell you, he's a lot more perfect than what we would have got if the 2016 election had gone another way. Now, the new 2020 election coming up is going to be another staged debacle, another staged, I don't know, drama. And the people who want the empire, the new world order in place, will stop at nothing to rig our election system. So they put their candidates in place in the administration. But the administrative offices of the president aren't the only problem. There's something called the Senior Executive Service that has mandated many legislators into status quo positions so they can maintain their profitability. That Senior Executive Service needs to be disestablished, really, seriously. And congressional campaigning that's based on industrial bribery and industrial deep pockets campaign contributions, that's got to go away, because it just means that industry, commerce, and enterprise are, with their deep pockets, the only ones who get satisfied in this republic or democratic republic or whatever you want to call the United States today. That system of campaign finance has got to be overturned and replaced with something, whatever they have in Scandinavia. You know, Scandinavians are pretty progressive when it comes to making certain that the election system actually reflects what the people who do the work want to see happen. And in Britain, since the dearth of leadership is so profound at this time, Theresa May, weasel that she was, couldn't get anywhere. And Boris is another weasel, okay? The other people who are up for grabs for prime minister are weasels. You don't see anybody there with any particular attachment to Britain as a political entity, as a monarchy derived from the common laws of the Mosaic Law back a couple thousand years ago. You know, the God is law. And when the laws only favor certain people, you have a banana republic. And that's exactly what you have in Britain today, a banana republic in which the civil laws of the land have been completely overturned by maritime admiralty and courts that make money on partiality and make money on political stances. So this is July 4th, and I did have a homeless person living here for a while, and the terms under which I live here in this apartment were not acceptable to that homeless person, and so they have moved on, and so I'm back I'm back to how things have been. And I have my 2 cats and my 1 dog. And, we're back to normal, so to speak, normal, so to speak. Last night, a very interesting thing happened, and it has happened before, and I want to speak to it. And it's part of the 5G phenomenon. Okay. I was lying in bed and a vehicle came by. You know how some people turn up their car music station so their vehicle is throbbing? Okay. This vehicle was throbbing at a rate that disturbed my heart and put my heart into a heart panic state. I think you call it filibration. My heart actually went into filibration because of the pulsating nature of the sounds coming out of a vehicle that was driving by, and I didn't see the vehicle. And I had to take several steps in order to get my heart back under normal control. Okay, there's breathing, there's certain herbs and stuff that I use when my heart gets crazy and gets out of rhythm. And what I have heard from the grapevine is that the deep state, the powers that be, have these trucks, have these vehicles that can park in any neighborhood. And with their transmitters, they can disturb the heartbeat rhythm of the people in their immediate vicinity. And this is part of the deep state genocide program to get rid of troublemakers and troubleshooters. Now, I talked about the empire. The empire has an ethic that goes back to Sumer, Babylon, Assyria, Greece, Rome, and Tartary. And that is, you have to get rid of the people who are complaining. You can't allow the people to complain. This is a top-down empire. And what happens at the top is what is supposed to be allowed all the way to the bottom. And so whistleblowers are taken out, all right? Julian Assange, look what has happened to him, all right? Look what happens. I have a whole page on Facebook, Departed Martyrs, of people who were taken out because they told the truth, all right? And the empire, the deep state, has tools to take people out who are telling the truth, because the empire operates on dogma and doctrine and policy and procedure and practice. It's a hierarchy where every desk has its set of rules, and those rules are not compromised. All right, so the empire has to be defeated and run out of this world because it has no respect for the life of the bugs and the birds and the flowers and the fish and the animals and the people. The empire has no respect for life whatsoever. We need to run the empire off this planet. And that's what Genesis 3:15 was all about. Run the seed of the serpent, crush the head of the seed of the serpent. And the seed of the serpent is commercialism above all human rights, above all rights to life. Commercial contracts. A friend gave me his commercial contract. He has a simple problem of employment discrimination, where he was fired because the boss didn't like the attitude that he was coming from in terms of his philosophy, although his work was compliant. Well, this is a 15-page Maritime Admiralty court document that goes into more detail than I want to have to deal with, about all the reasons and all the rights why people under the laws of the land ought to be able to have their own thoughts while they work at a job in which their labor is what they're being paid for. They're being paid for their labor, not for how they think. And so this is the bullet that we have yet to dodge, is maritime admiralty law and return to laws of the land, wherein the individuals and the souls have their own rights. Rights to think, rights to associate, rights to speak, rights to have an opinion. And so for this July 4th, 2019, we have more bullets to dodge, but I'm going to enjoy the rest of the day and the music, and I'll listen to the president discuss his affirmations for what he believes is possible in our future if we can keep dodging these empire and deep state and Illuminati bullets. We don't need them. Bye-bye.